Hello friends, my name is Dr. J.S. Chauhan. I am the course director at Samasti. Samasti is Sehgal Minimal Access Surgery Training Institute. This is an academic and the training wing of the Sehgal Neo Hospital. At Samasti, we are giving training in laparoscopic surgery, histoscopic surgery and upper and lower GI endoscopy. So today I'll be discussing with you about a very important topic which is sterilization and disinfection and decontamination as it is practiced, in the laparoscopic surgery field. Before we discuss further, about the sterilization and disinfection, so let me tell you about the definitions, okay? So sterilization is a process, that destroys or eliminates, all forms of disease-causing microbes or the microorganisms. So these microorganisms, they can be either bacteria, they can be viruses, okay, they can be parasites, or they can be fungus, okay, and they can be in their different forms, whether there is in the spore forms, or the living forms. So in sterilization, it eliminates all forms of microbial life, even the spore forms and the living forms also, okay. Then disinfection, this is a process that eliminates many of the pathogenic microorganisms, and this also removes all the living forms of the microorganisms, whether it is a bacteria, whether this is virus, fungus or parasite, except the bacterial spores. So in disinfection, the spores are not killed, the spores, they are still intact. And then, the third process is the decontamination. So, this is the removal of all pathogenic microorganisms from the objects or the surfaces, okay? And this is the decontamination is done to make these objects and surfaces, safe to handle, safe to use and safe to discard. So these are the three processes, so which we resort to, in our operation theatre setting. So either we are sterilizing the instruments or we are doing the disinfection, and then, we are doing the decontamination of the surfaces or the objects. So the disinfection, here already we have known that this kills the pathogenic microorganisms except the spores. So disinfection, is also classified into, the three subcategories. This can be a low-level disinfection, or this can be an intermediate-level disinfection, or this can be a high-level disinfection. So in low level of disinfection, it reduces the overall number of vegetative microorganisms. It does not destroy, the tubercular bacilli and the spores. And, since low-level disinfection is applied, on the surfaces of the OT tables, instrument trolleys, the walls and the floors of the operation theatre. And then in the intermediate level disinfection, here the TB bacilli, they are killed, okay? And this also kills the most forms of the viruses, fungi and the parasites. But only some spores are, eliminated or destroyed. And, the intermediate level of this disinfection is employed in OPD, in the OPD setting, okay, for doing dressings and other things, where the breach of the mucosa is not there. Okay, then comes the high level disinfection. This, in the high level disinfection, this process kills the most forms of microbial life, including the TB bacilli and most of the spores, okay? And, so this high level of the disinfection, this is used, for scopes, okay? And the delicate instruments, okay? The scopes, all the upper and lower GI endoscopes, okay? The histoscopes, okay? And, the other scopes, okay, and so this level of disinfection is also used, for the laparoscopic surgical instruments, where we are not doing the, where we are doing rather the, the destructive type of the surgery and not the reconstructive type of surgery. So what I mean to say is that, if you are doing appendicectomy, of an perforated appendix, okay, or if you are doing cholecystectomy or hysterectomy, so these are the, destructive surgeries. So here, we can use the instruments, which have undergone the high level of disinfection. But if you are doing any reconstructive surgery, like if you are doing any, laparoscopic mesh hernioplasty, okay, or if you are doing any, the laparoscopic IPOM, okay, intraperitoneal onlay mesh repair, of the incisional hernia, or if as a gynecologist, if you are doing any, the sacrocolpopexy for the prolapse of the uterus. So then here, it is always advisable that, we use only the sterilized instruments. And, all these reconstructive surgeries, they should be performed as a first case in the OT, where the sterilization of the instruments as well as, the sterilization of fumigation of the operation theatre, it is of the highest standard. So, these are the different levels of the disinfection: low level, intermediate level and high level of the disinfection. So now, there is one Spalding classifications, of the medical devices or the instruments. And according to this classification, the instruments are classified into three categories. Either the instruments can be critical, or the instruments can be semi-critical, or the instrument can be non-critical. So what is the criteria of critical instruments? The instruments or the objects which enter, the tissues which are normally sterile, or into the vascular system, or the vascular system, or through which, the blood flows. So all these instruments, which are entering into the sterile tissues, or, they are entering into the vascular systems, they should be sterile whenever we are operating. So these instruments should be sterile. So these are the critical instruments. So then the semi-critical, instruments or the objects, they touch mucous membranes or the skin. So the semi-critical instruments or the objects are the instruments or the object that touch the mucous membrane or the skin that is not intact. What does it mean is that, there is either a breach in the skin or there is a breach in the mucous membrane. And this requires a disinfection process, which should be high level disinfection. And, so because the instruments or the objects, they are coming in contact with the, any mucous membrane or the skin where there is a breach. So, so the high level disinfection, it will kill all the microorganisms, and here, the chances of infection will be reduced. Okay. So the semi-critical instruments, we have to use the high level disinfection. So then, the non-critical instruments or the objects, they touch only the intact skin. So they require only low level of the disinfection. To do the sterilization, there are certain steps are there, and this is very important to perform these steps in a correct order. So what are the steps of the sterilization? So first, as I've told you, is the dismantling. To decontaminate them, okay, and then we have to do the pre-cleaning, okay, and then cleaning and rinsing, okay, and then drying of the drying of the instrument has to be done, okay, and then they have to be assembled, okay, and then we have to do the sterilization and the storage. So before we move further, so we have to know about the factors which affect the efficacy of the disinfection and the sterilization. So first and foremost is the number and location of the microorganisms, okay, or the bioburden of the instruments, okay, and then innate resistance of the microorganism, whether any instrument has any microorganism which is in a spore form, okay, and then the concentration and the potency of the disinfectants we are using. Okay, the physical and the chemical factors, like the temperature, pH, relative humidity, and the water hardness. Okay, the water we should be using, it should not be a hard water. And then any organic or inorganic matter in the water. Okay, and then how well we have done the prior cleaning. Okay, and then moisture, and then direct contact with the items. Okay, and then the duration of the exposure and the temperature at which we are doing the sterilization or the disinfection. In the sterilizations, the sterilization can broadly be done by 5 means. Then there can be chemicals which can be used for sterilization and disinfections, and then we can use the autoclaving. Okay, and then we can use the ethylene oxide gas. Okay, and then we can use the plasma chambers for sterilization, and then we can also use the radiations. Okay, the gamma radiations for sterilization. So I'll be discussing with you about all these different methods of sterilization one by one. So in the chemical disinfectants, the first and the foremost chemical that we use is the glutaraldehyde. So glutaraldehyde, there is a 2% glutaraldehyde. This is the concentration, and the most common product available in the market is the Cidex, which is a product of the Johnson & Johnson or the Ethicon. Okay, and then there is a 5 liters container, which contains 2% of the glutaraldehyde, and then there is one activator solution is also there. Okay, so whenever we have to use the glutaraldehyde, and if it is within the shelf life, the shelf life of the glutaraldehyde of the different manufacturers can vary from 2 years to maybe up to 3 years. That is the shelf life, and then when we have not activated the glutaraldehyde. Okay, so after we have done the activation of the glutaraldehyde, so what I mean to say by activation is that we have to mix the activator solution also. So then, the useful life of this activated glutaraldehyde, is only 2 weeks. Okay, or the 14 uses, whichever is earlier. Okay, so whenever we are using a glutaraldehyde, so we have to take this glutaraldehyde in a stainless steel tray. Okay, the company also provides us, with the plastic tray, but it is recommended that we have to use the stainless steel tray. And then on that we have to write, the activation date of the glutaraldehyde, and then we have to write the expiration date. Okay, so then, what is the method or the mechanism, by which the microorganisms are destroyed? This is by alkalization of the amino acids of the various microorganisms. Okay, and then so this glutaraldehyde, this is a very efficient bactericidal, fungicidal, virucidal. Okay, and but it has a very slow mycobacterial bactericidal activity. Okay, and then I've already discussed with you that once activated, the shelf life of the glutaraldehyde is 14 days. Okay, now the contact time, if we are doing the high level disinfection of the instruments, the contact time of the instrument should be between 20 to 30 minutes. Although, there's some products recommend even up to 90 minutes, but within 20 to 30 minutes, the instruments, they are disinfected, okay, of up to the high level disinfection. And if we want to do the sterilization, using the chemical disinfectants, then the contact time has to be between 6 to 8 hours. And, some manufacturers say between 6 to 10 hours. So this means that, if we keep the instruments immersed, in the Cidex for 6 to 8 hours, the instrument will be sterilized. That, all the forms of the microorganisms, the living forms as well as the spore forms, they will be eliminated. So Cydex can be used, for sterilization purposes also, but then the contact time is very high. Other chemical, which is used, it is the para-acetic acid. Okay, so the mechanism by which it does the sterilization is by denaturing, the proteins, of the microorganism, and destroys the cell membrane. The one cycle is of a 30-minute duration. Okay, and the byproducts are non-toxic, acetic acid and water. And here also the maximum reuse time is 14 days or the 14 uses, whichever is earlier. Okay, and this is also effective in presence of the organic matter, and it can be used at a low temperature. And this also has an additional tuberculocidal activity. Okay, so para-acetic acid can also be used. So other chemical disinfectants, we also have a hydrogen peroxide. Okay, this is again bactericidal, virucidal, sporicidal and fungicidal. Okay, the mode of action is that the hydroxyl free radicals, they can attack the membrane, the lipids of the membrane. Okay, and other essential cell components, and thereby kill the microorganism. And there is also an accelerated hydrogen peroxide, which is 0.5%, and this kills viruses in 1 minute and mycobacteria and fungi in 5 minutes. So this hydrogen peroxide, this is also used for the plasma sterilization. How it is used we'll be discussing when we discuss about the plasma sterilizer. Okay, the other chemicals that we use is a Pirasafe. This Pirasafe, this is a 0.08% para-acetic acid plus 1% hydrogen peroxide, and the mode of action is it denatures the proteins and destroys the cell membrane. And advantage is that this effectively inactivates the microbacteria which are resistant to the glutaraldehyde. And then the soak time or the contact time is for high level disinfection is 10 minutes. So this Pirasafe is costlier than the glutaraldehyde and the Cydex. Okay, and there are certain instructions are there, how to safely use the chemical disinfectants, and how to effectively and safely use the chemical disinfectants. So first we have to check the efficacy before use, and use sterilized stainless steel tray for the Cydex. Avoid using the plastic tray for the Cydex. Thoroughly clean and dry the instrument before putting them in the Cydex. Okay, and if there is a water on the instruments, it will change the pH of the Cydex. Okay, so it is very important that the instrument has to be dried up before they are put into the Cydex. Okay, and whenever we are removing the instruments from the Cydex, okay, so allow the Cydex to drip back into the tray. Okay, so we have to hold the instrument straight, okay, when we are removing it, so that all the Cydex drips back into the tray. And we have to use only the gloved hands to pick up the instruments from the Cydex tray. Okay, and the lifter should not touch the tray wall. Okay, because the outer tray wall may be unsterile. So once you have worn the sterile gloves, so then some other person can lift up the lid of the tray. The person who is going to remove the instrument, he should not lift up the lid. Okay, so some other person should lift up the lid. Okay, and then thoroughly rinse the instruments in sterile water. So if sterile water is not available, so then most commonly used is the saline. Okay, and then whenever we are using the stainless steel tray, before putting in the Cydex solution, we have to sterilize it. Okay, so this can be sterilized by using the autoclaving or other means. Okay, and again when we are putting the instruments for sterilization or high level disinfection, we have to dry up all the instruments before putting them into the Cydex tray. So This is, how we use the different chemicals. Okay, so one thing you must have learned is that most of the time the chemical disinfectants, they are mainly used for the high level disinfection of the instruments. Thank you very much for watching this presentation.